When Casino Royale premiered in 2006, it wasn't just another spy flick. It was a full-scale reinvention of James Bond himself. Gone were the gadgets, the cheeky one-liners, and the over-the-top villains. What replaced them was something grittier, sexier, and startlingly human. It was a gamble, and it paid off spectacularly. The film didn't just reboot a franchise, it resurrected it, with Daniel Craig stepping into the tuxedo as the world's most famous spy. But the real story, the one behind the martinis, Aston Martins, and broken hearts, that's where things get truly fascinating. Back in 2006, Daniel Craig was Hollywood's most controversial casting choice. The internet had a meltdown. James Blonde, they sneered. He was too rugged, too raw, too different from the suave charm of Pierce Brosnan. But then Casino Royale hit, and everything changed overnight. Craig's Bond was bruised, bleeding, and breathtaking, a human weapon with a heart. He wasn't just playing Bond, he was reinventing him for a new generation. The result? Instant global superstardom. The film raked in over $600 million, critics hailed it as one of the best Bonds ever, and Craig became a household name. But behind the success came exhaustion. Over the next decade, Craig carried the weight of 007 through Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, Spectre, and No Time to Die. By the time he finally hung up the tux in 2021, he'd transformed from an outsider into one of the most beloved Bonds in history. Fast forward to 2025. Daniel Craig is 57, still stylish, still sharp, but finally free of MI6. He's traded car chases for character dramas, starring in plays and producing prestige TV. Fans still call him the modern Bond, but these days, Craig is happy to just be Daniel, husband to Oscar winner Rachel Weisz, father and quiet legend. No scandals, no ego, no drama, just pure class. If James Bond ever needed a real-life ending, Daniel Craig already gave it to him. And speaking of class, Eva Green. Oh, Vesper Lynd, the woman who shattered Bond's heart and redefined the Bond girl archetype. When she appeared on screen, she wasn't just another glamorous accessory. She was his equal. Intelligent, sensual, and dangerous in her own right, Vesper was the emotional soul of Casino Royale. Eva Green's performance was spellbinding, and her chemistry with Craig, electric. Their doomed love story turned an action movie into a tragedy, and audiences have never recovered. After Casino Royale, Green became Hollywood's dark enchantress, the queen of mystery and gothic glamour. She starred in 300 Rise of an Empire, Penny Dreadful, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, and more. Critics called her the goddess of cinematic melancholy, and they weren't wrong. She's built a career out of haunting elegance and fierce independence. By 2025, Eva remains as elusive as ever, rarely seen at Hollywood parties, fiercely private, and forever fascinating. Earlier this year, she took home a BAFTA for her chilling performance in a French psychological thriller. And when asked about returning as Vesper in flashback form for future Bond projects, she just smiled that signature half-smile and said, "Some ghosts should never rest." She's not just unforgettable, she's eternal. And then there was Mads Mikkelsen, the man who turned quiet menace into an art form. As Chiffre, the blood-tiered villain with a poker face that could kill, he gave Bond his most cerebral enemy yet. Mikkelsen's elegance and unpredictability made him an instant icon. He didn't play evil, he embodied it. In the years after Casino Royale, Mads' career exploded. He became a global favorite, thriving in European cinema and Hollywood alike. Hannibal made him a television legend, Doctor Strange turned him into a Marvel villain, and Another Round won him global acclaim and an Oscar nomination. In 2025, Mikkelsen is still the king of sophisticated danger. Effortlessly cool, endlessly talented, and living proof that villains sometimes win the audience's hearts too. From cold villains to commanding leaders, Dame Judi Dench as M. By 2006, she'd already been Bond's steady anchor for a decade, but Casino Royale gave her something new: emotional depth. Her relationship with Craig's Bond wasn't just professional, it was maternal, complicated, and filled with quiet affection. Dench's sharp wit and authority gave the movie its moral backbone. Now in 2025, at 90 years old, Judi Dench is a living legend, knighted, beloved, and still working. Though she's spoken openly about her struggles with vision loss, she continues to act, narrate, and inspire. She's the heart of British cinema, classy, hilarious, and unstoppable. In her own words, you don't retire from acting, it retires from you. And honestly, we hope it never does. And let's not forget Jeffrey Wright, the cool, understated CIA agent Felix Leiter. Before Casino Royale, Wright was already a respected actor with an impeccable resume. But the Bond films made him a fan favorite, his calm intellect perfectly balancing Bond's intensity. Since then, Wright's career has skyrocketed. Westworld, The Batman, American Fiction. By 2025, he's an Oscar winner and one of Hollywood's most quietly powerful figures. He's also confirmed to be returning for the next Bond reboot, not as Felix, but as a producer, helping shape the new era of 007. Talk about a full circle moment. And then, of course, there's Giancarlo Giannini, the Italian actor who played René Mathis, Bond's old-school ally. His performance gave the film an emotional warmth amidst the chaos. In the years since, Giannini's continued to work in European cinema and television, his presence as dignified as ever. At 82, he remains one of Italy's greatest living actors, charming, wise, and still a gentleman of the screen. 2 decades later, Casino Royale feels just as electrifying as it did the night it premiered. It didn't just reboot a franchise, it reshaped the idea of heroism, masculinity, and love in modern cinema. Daniel Craig turned pain into power, Eva Green turned seduction into substance, Mads Mikkelsen turned villainy into sophistication, Judi Dench turned authority into empathy, and Jeffrey Wright turned loyalty into legacy. They came together to redefine what a spy story could be, and in the process became legends of their own. Because Casino Royale wasn't just about the birth of a new Bond, it was about evolution, survival, and the cost of vulnerability. 20 years later, the movie still stings, still thrills, and still reminds us, even the strongest heroes can be undone by love. And if you love revisiting the icons who changed the face of cinema, drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell, because we're not done yet. More Then and Now deep dives are coming, and the next one might just surprise you.